Yo, it's Drinkwater's class. If you knew how hard it was for me to start these videos, because it feels so artificial, right? Like I'm gonna start the video now. I also hate looking at myself. That's neither here nor there. Hello class, how are you today? I'm currently recording this at 9:30 on Tuesday night. The days are all blurring. I am showered, but I didn't really trust my hair. I have a polo shirt on, and if you could see, I'm actually wearing UMass Boston sweatpants right now, so maybe that's not particularly inappropriate because it's UMass, yeah. Take our money, yeah. We're not gonna refund you for the dorms, but sign up for the fall. Don't forget to sign up for the fall. Despite the fact that, I don't know, you guys getting refunds? I read the email. Yeah, we don't own the dorms, so you won't be getting that money back ever, and that sucks. I'm with you. Okay. Some administralia, made that word up. So your homework for next week, I have my little iPad here, what I had in front of you guys back when we existed in a physical plane, not as just data on the internet. It's weird to think about, but here we are. So put a little wrinkle on the homework for next week. You're gonna have your class activity down there after you watch this video. And by the way, I hope you're watching this video. If you're trying to get through the class without watching this very dumb short video, you probably have questions, and that's when you email me and you're like, Drinkwater, can I make up my work? And I'm like, I've said it in every single video and in every single post. Yeah, man, make up your work. Or I don't want to gender it. Yeah, person. So I guess that's first thing. It's like, just get stuff in when you get it in. I spared you. I was gonna give you a paper assignment today, but I did not. I'm gonna give it to you at the beginning of next week. Which means I really want you to do the homework I'm about to give you. So for next class, your next essay is gonna be deconstructing the outside world through like your own essay, your previous essay, as well as like some thoughts from Joe Bajan, from Heather Havrilski. Remember the Smile Factory? A lifetime ago, like literally a lifetime ago. By the time you see this, it'll be April 1st, and I don't know about you, but like it's almost incomprehensible to explain like how different life is now from the beginning of March. Like my problems at the beginning of March and my problems now are just like so insanely different. Like in March it was like, I was a consumer, and I guess we're going to talk about that today. My problems in March were not having the right kind of boat shoes, right? Now it's like, am I going to have a job in the fall? And I guess that sort of gives you, perspective on what really does matter. I'm really taken, and we're going to talk about the American hologram in a second, because Tender's about to become part of it. He's about to become a celebrity, and he's about to be absorbed into the American hologram. I think it's really interesting sort of like seeing influencers out in the world, like still trying to sell Fashion Nova on Instagram. You're like, yo, everything's fucking ending, dude. Like, where am I gonna wear this bikini to? Like, what do I need? I'll make it about myself. Like, what do I need these supplements for, right? What are we doing? They're just like, oh, everything's the same. Everything's still the very fun, empty existence. You're like, nah, dude. Like, today, they said that there's gonna be what, $100 to $250,000. If you have that money, send it to me. People dead, and you're like, incomprehensible. But I guess update your Snapchat story or your Instagram story, like on a boat or wearing fancy things. Shout out to Tom Brady for selling, first of all, for leaving us. I'm done with Brady. I'm done with him. Greatest quarterback of all time. I love him forever. I'm done with him. He's selling $147 like immune system boosters, which I think is like the scummiest thing ever to try and profit off this situation, especially with like just maybe vitamins that are not going to solve the problem. Okay, back to homework. It's Survivor chapters 29, 28, and 27. In a short reading, the reading is a speech from RFK, JFK's brother, John Fitzgerald Kennedy. Remember him? Got shot. Was wonderful. Well, was wonderful to some people, but his brother also was murdered. And I think to speak to the influences we were just talking about, we'll tie it together. He sort of calls into question what we value and how we measure success in our world versus what we should or how we should. And I think that's a really relevant question for what this class, what do we value? My wife was talking today about a coworker of hers who likes Donald Trump, and he said, well, I like him. He's like admittedly, he's like, I just like him because I'm a rich guy and he helps the economy. It's a big question though, right? Like, what is helping the economy? RFK in his speech would say, the numbers can be fantastic, but if the average American can't eat, like that's just fucking money for richer people, right? It's like, oh, unemployment's down. And you're like, well, that's cool. Everyone has to work 3 jobs though because we don't pay a living wage. So like, whatever, a little politics. What would you do if I didn't talk politics to you guys? Today, Charlie Baker extended the social distancing till May 4th. So that sucks, but please don't fuck around and go out. I want to go out of my house on May 4th. I want to go to the movies and then go to my favorite restaurant. And this can only be achieved if we're not running around Revere Beach. We need to fucking get in your house. Open the window. I don't know. Just don't go to the beach. If you go to the supermarket, I don't know, cover your face. I think I might get a mask this week. Lu Chan, shout out to Lu Chan. She wore a mask in fucking January and I teased her. I haven't been that wrong about something in a long time, but that's life, is what we talk about, metacognition, take it in, question it. Oh, I was really wrong. This fucking coronavirus. And the people were like, well, it's one of many coronavirus. It's actually COVID-19. Fine, fucking COVID-19. As well, since I'm not giving you a paper, my polo shirt, sweatpants down. Blue sweatpants doesn't match at all. I'm gonna literally take this shirt off, and like put it in my closet because I don't want it. I'm wearing it for 20 minutes. On top of the reading, I'm giving you guys some group work. On Schoology, down below. Everything's always down below. I put you guys into groups, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna find your group. You're gonna click on the link. It'll be over here, I guess. It's mirrored. You'll see group 1. Blah, 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 blah. Click here. It's going to open up a document. You're going to reflect on your outside world essay. Hold on, I can bring it up. I can literally tell you guys what you have to do. This is great radio, right? This is great radio. You hear how loud my keyboard is? I'm kind of ashamed of it. Like I'm tutoring people and I'm like, hold on, click, clack, click, clack. Okay, so you're going to go in. You're going to click on your group. And then you're going to type your name. You're gonna type the cultural norm and about what you wrote about. We'll just put that down. And then the third thing is what you learned from deconstructing it. Once again, just go back to it. It's been 2 weeks since you looked at it. You're gonna have to make an argument for your next paper on the first class of next week. We're gonna get into the final paper. A month long. We're gonna write it over a month. We're gonna help you out. We're gonna talk about shit. Here's the deal. You need to go in and you need to put this in because you have group members. I'm gonna try and simulate some sort of fucking interaction between you guys. And so you'll enter yours over the weekend. The first class of next week, I'm getting way ahead of myself. You can just fast forward this if you don't want to think about next week. But long story short, you need to do your homework this weekend so people can respond to yours. So this system only works if everyone's doing it. So again, look for your group on Schoology. You'll see a Google Doc, click here, go over to it, fill it out on top of the readings, which I will email you about. I will send you the RFK. Today, we're gonna talk about, I guess, the goals. I have the goals for what I wanted to talk to you guys about, is to begin to examine what it means to be free in the American hologram, in our culture. What does it mean to be free? And because freedom, it's a very big phrase. We say we're free, but are we? What does it mean to be free? Tender has one definition of free. Joe Bajen has another definition. Andrew Basovich, which frankly I kind of feel bad I gave you, but I think he begins to crack at this idea that Bajen gets at too, which is that our idea of freedom really has nothing to do with freedom, right? It's kind of like if I can buy a flat screen TV, I don't care if I can't fly without a real ID, or I don't care if I'm on the highway and there's just cameras everywhere tracking me, or can I buy a Coors Light and watch a Patriots game? Then I don't really care if every time I slide my credit card it takes a picture of my face at Target. Or as you can tell, I actually care about freedom, or everything we type, all our phones are listening to us. Like, do we really care about being free? Do you really care? Do the majority of us really care? And so, that's sort of what we want as freedom. And then Tender talks about, and we're going to talk to it, get your Survivor book out if you haven't. Tender talks about a different kind of freedom, and he doesn't want this freedom. And I want you guys to ask yourselves as we talk about it, like, do I really want to be free, or do I want to be able to buy Fashion Nova and Vitamin Shop supplements? And if you come up and you say drink water, you know what? I don't really want to think about anything. I just want to live. At this point, I'd say I don't really want to think about anything either. It hasn't really got me anywhere. It's got, that's a complete lie. I'm in a nice house with a nice wife. I got a dog. It's not bad. I have a lot of privilege though. Check my privilege. Okay, so I was sort of, with Andrew Basovich, let's talk about him quickly. He's a hard reading. Down below, your class activity for today is going to be like answering some questions about it. But the one thing I sort of want us to think about is like, as Americans, we're super fucking prideful about freedom. We say it a lot. We don't really think about it. When you have a non-critical thinking American, what do they say? Freedom, First Amendment. That's it. That's just like, this is America, I'm free. I can say what I want. This is America. That's it. Do they really read the First Amendment? Do they have any idea what's going on in it? 0% chance. I don't think anybody who actually has read the First Amendment thinks it's that easy. And then, free. And so, we hear it all the time. And, we talk about repetition, talk about Bajan, monkey models. We hear land of the free, home of the free, freedom ain't free. These colors don't run. Freedom, 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 terrorists hate our freedom. And that's sort of on page 5 of Basovich. If we turn to it together, it's on my computer because I left the book at school, like everything else. Turn to page 5. This is very slow. I mean, this is very dense. I get it, right? It's right where we start. Freedom is the altar at which Americans worship. We worship this idea of freedom, right? Whatever their nominal religious persuasion, regardless of who we worship, we like freedom. No one sings odes to liberty as the final end of life with greater fervor than Americans, the theologian blah 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 said. Yet even as they celebrate freedom, Americans exempt the object of their veneration from critical examination. Holy shit, what does that mean? The object of their veneration, what we worship, we exempt it. We don't look at our object of worship, freedom, with critical examination, what this class is about. We haven't cracked that shit open, right? We haven't been like, well, what is really free in the United States? Don't get me wrong, by the way. There's definitely countries that have us much, much worse than the United States for a lot of people. But I think, if I had to say, I think being critical of your government at all times is probably best for you. No celebrity worship. Don't worship Trump. Don't worship Obama. Just do that. Or don't do that. So he's saying, we don't worship we don't look at freedom. We like the flag at football games, but when someone kneels, all of a sudden we shit our pants, right? And we talk about wars and they died so you can't kneel. And it's like, people fight for our freedom to be stupid and to say stupid things, or take legitimate political stances. You know me by now. I probably support Colin Kaepernick. Sorry. What are you gonna do about it? You're never gonna see. Oh, hopefully you'll see me. Hopefully you'll see me in the fall. Okay, so we're sort of talking about that. Now turn to page. The other thing I want to talk about with you guys is on page 15. Let's see. Page 16. Turn to page 16. I'm going to talk about this quick. Basovich says, if one were to choose a single word to characterize that identity, American identity, it would have to be more. Can we relate to this? The concept of more. Beginning of this class lecture, what did I tell you? My number one problem March 1st was more shoes. For the majority of contemporary Americans, the essence of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness centers on a relentless personal quest to acquire. I need boat shoes. To consume. Give me more stuff. To indulge. What's indulge mean? I don't need shoes. I'll show you at some point this semester, I'll show you my closet. I brought all my shoes upstairs because I'm not gonna fucking wear them again. I have one pair of shoes I need because I'm not going anywhere, right? But you indulge, you give into these, I don't want to call them bad, maybe empty desires, you know what I mean? And to shed whatever constraints might interfere with these endeavors. A bumper sticker, a sardonic motto, and a charge dating from the age of Woodstock have recast the Jeffersonian trinity in modern terms. It used to be life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Whoever dies with the most toy wins. Shop till you drop. If it feels good, do it. Basovich is saying that's what we want. And is that fair? Do we think that's fair? We've come to redefine freedom to mean the pursuit of more. As long as we can pursue more, we feel free, for better or worse. Turn this monitor off. Ready? Where is it? Oh, now my face is dark. Hold on. I'm back. And so I think that we want to question this, right? So on the one hand, we have Basovich's claim, redefine freedom. And so we hear that and we're like, oh, that sounds suffocating. I don't really want that, right? But if we compare that with Tender's, because what's happening to Tender as we speak? Tender's, the caseworker's dead, all his family's dead, his daily planner's out the door, right? And so he's facing this moment where he can be free and doesn't really want to, if that makes sense. If you turn to page 167, let's read through that. It starts with survivor retention client number. Oh wait, rummage in your room, rummage wherever the fuck you are, get your book. Check the email that I've sent you like 4 times with the copy of the book. Very legally procured copy of the book. All right, you got it? So he says, survivor retention client number 84 has lost everyone he ever loved and everything that gave his life meaning. He grew up in this church. He's realized this church is fraudulent, right? It's fraudulent. It was bullshit. What happens, maybe for you, what happens when, sort of the cultural conditioning you've gone through reveals itself to be empty? What do you do when someone's been like, this daily planner just kind of sounds like a cut and paste way to live your life. Do you really want that? You don't have to do that. And you're like, ooh. I mean, again, I'm in my house with my wife and my dog. I'm about as cliche as you get. He's tired and sleeps most of the time. He has started drinking and smoking. He has no appetite. He seldom bathes and hasn't shaved in weeks. 10 years ago, he was the hard-working salt of the earth. All he wanted was to go to heaven. Sitting here today, everything he worked for in the world is lost. All his external rules and controls are gone. There is no hell, there is no heaven. Still, just dawning on him is the idea that now anything is possible. Now he wants everything. And so he steps down. Let's cut down a few lines. Very last line on the page. Really, my life no longer has a point. I'm free. This and I stand to inherit 20,000 acres of central Nebraska. And so I think it's the idea that which freedom do we want, guys? Do we take freedom to mean the ability? Do we really want the ability to decide our entire lives? And I guess the wrinkle would be, can we, right? Can we have that freedom? Maybe you could be like, drink water, that's just not gonna happen. Or do we sort of just want this comfy sort of freedom that has us hopscotching from one moment to the next? Drink water is, again, like agency and the struggle for agency is something I go through too. I'm not preaching to you from a soapbox. I'm struggling with it too. I root for my teams. Been conditioned. Fucking Boston Red Sox kid. The Bruins. Maybe it's okay every once in a while during this pandemic just get caught up in like little shit, right? It's a good escape. Like, 'cause I feel like I want to complain about the Bruins season probably being over and they were going to win the Stanley Cup. But then I feel like when tens of thousands of people are dying, it seems like a ludicrous thing to complain about. But maybe we've talked about the big scary unknown. Can we hide from the big scary unknown right now? It's very hard to, because just people are getting sick and it could be you or it could be me if we're not safe. It has nothing to do with age, guys. Or gender or race. Anyone can catch COVID-19, not the coronavirus. Not the coronavirus. And so, sort of what freedom do we want? I'm going to have you guys answer down there, sort of begin to contemplate this. Because as we work as a class towards this idea of agency or living with agency, someone keeps texting me. I'm recording with my cell phone. Should I get a webcam? I feel like I should get a webcam. They're like $200, and again, I don't really know where my next paycheck's coming from in the fall. So, don't consume, right? Don't consume, don't indulge, Ian. This is fine. Your phone is doing it fine. I want you guys to begin to wrangle with this idea of freedom and what it means to be free. how are we conditioned by the American hologram to understand freedom, right? We see, stand up, sporting event, hand across your heart, blah, blah, blah. Do you think about it? Nope. A lot of our movies, always about freedom, fighting the bad guys, the terrorists who hate our freedom. Maybe they just hate us being in their country. Anyways, versus what would freedom outside of it look? Do we really want to create our daily planner? Do we really want that responsibility? I don't even know if I do, but it's something worth, again, like critical reflection, metacognition. I want you to think, Tender's about to be a celebrity, and we're going to play with that. Had a lot of cool group work planned out, for this class, but we'll see how it goes. I always look at magazine ads with you guys to sort of see what ideals are being sold, what values are being conveyed to us. Maybe the groups I've put you in, you'll stay in for maybe some group activities going forward. If you're Tuesday, Thursday, remember 10:30 to 11 on Thursday is an optional Kahoot for extra points. If you're Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 11 o'clock Friday class, optional Kahoot, extra points. I spent way too much time. I figured out how to make my background on on Zoom a video. And so I just have like stars winkling behind me. And if you knew, like we all have so much time on our hands, like I was like, what am I doing? What? But again, like what? Am I gonna go to the movie theater? Am I gonna go to the sport ball game? What do you want? Guess I don't even have any fucking papers to grade right now. I'll have those after next week. That's really it, guys. I hope to see you on Thursday or on Friday. If you've gotten to this far in the video, you probably read my emails, and if you haven't gotten this far, you probably don't read my emails. But again, like, do work as you get it. Submit it as it goes. I would say try to be on time because you don't want to fall behind, but I don't fucking know, dude. I've never cared about grades, and I want you to do the work. I don't want to pass you for doing nothing, but once you get a book, you know what I mean? Like, I do want you to earn passing this class. But what the grades look like after that, get as much as you can done. Communicate with me. Communicate with your peer mentors. I think I said that on Monday, or Sunday. They're not dead. Still there. I'm about to give out a prompt. I'm about to give out a paper prompt. I'm happy to discuss it with you guys. They're happy to discuss it with you too. I don't know. Stay safe. Stay sane. Try to do something for yourself every day. Whether that's just like, I don't know, laugh at a meme. Complain about Tom Brady leaving. I would say something healthier though, like go for a walk or do yoga or eat vegetables or some shit. But also laugh, I guess. You're alive. You're sucking wind. We're here, which is, maybe more of a victory than usual. Be kind. I'm just rattling off things I'd like my students to do. Be kind. Don't jump to the worst case scenario when you're dealing with people right now. We're all fucking, don't tolerate pricks, but don't tolerate assholes. But, if someone's curt with you, I don't know, extend understanding or something. All right, guys. I miss being in the classroom with you. I will see you hopefully virtual later this week. Later.